It's
Well,
club,
listen,
bro.
let's move on to the next one. I want your opinion on this one, and then I'll give my opinion. Alexander Isak being linked to Arsenal as a potential striker that we can go for. What do you make of this, bro? Do you want him? Do you think there's other options? What do you make of Alexander Isak?
He's not elite. He's not an elite level. He's good. He's probably better than what we've got, but he's not elite. He's not elite. And let's be real. If you go and get Isak, that's the only player that you're going to get. Really, isn't it? Because the club won't move yet. If you wanted to go and get Alexander Isak, that's fine. But you move Jesus on. You move Nketiah on. Yeah, you say, look, Jesus, you're too injury prone. You're not a gunman in front of goal. We need an upgrade now. We need somebody who can score us goals. Not that I think Isak is that prolific himself, but I think he's better suited to the way that we want to play. Because when you look at the way that Kai Havertz is, taking on that number 9 role with he's quite tall, he's quite physical. Isak's very much the same, but he's a natural number 9. So he could take that role, definitely. But you'd have to move Jesus on, and you'd have to bring in an elite striker still. For me, there's only two players on the list that, for me, are available and are elite for what we need. And people will sit there and say, Ivan Toney's not elite. He is in this Arsenal team, trust me. He is. Yeah, and then the other one's Victor Osimhen, but I don't really know what to make of Victor Osimhen. I think I don't really know what to make of Victor Osimhen. I think he's a flat track bully, to be honest with you. I don't think he'd come in the Premier League and do that great. So
fair enough.
It's limited options, bro. I mean, what do you make of it?
It is Alexander Isak, 20 appearances, 12 goals. He's valued at 70 mil. Ollie Watkins is valued the same price. This is transfer mark. Ollie Watkins, 29 appearances, 16 goals, and 10 assists. You get more for your money. You get more for your money if we can't get Ivan Toney. I think Ollie Watkins is my number 2 to somebody like Ivan Toney. I think Isak will probably be number 3. I don't think Isak's bad. It's just his injury record is poor. And I just don't need another player that's going to be injured. I need you to be available, especially, right now, where Jesus normally gets injured. If we stick by Jesus, which I think Arteta is going to keep Jesus, we need another striker. If, he's going to have to step in, that is going to stay fit. There's no point having a number 1 and number 2, both of them injury prone. It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't even think that Isak's a bad player. I actually think he's a decent player. And for his size as well, he's technically pretty good. I just don't think he's the most prolific out of Watkins and Toney. And we need a prolific goal scorer.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Watkins, I'm not sure about him.
I would look at him more as a number 2 to Ivan Toney. I'd rather go for Watkins over Isak. If we can't get Toney, for example, for any reason, let's say Toney goes to Man United or something. We can't get him. He's gone to Man United. Out of Isak and Watkins, as I would want somebody Premier League proven, I would go for Watkins over the 2 of them. He gives you more assists and he's a better goal scorer. But neither one of them are world class. At the same time I'm saying this, I'm not saying either one are world class, because none of these strikers are world class. Even Ivan Toney is not world class. We're just looking at the strikers that are available. For me, I saw enough of Osihmen to not even be considering him. I don't think he's good enough. I think his mode of striker is very similar to Aubameyang. And if Arteta didn't keep Aubameyang that was able to get Golden Boot with Harry Kane, why would you go and get Osihmen? I don't think Osimhen's link-up play is that amazing. I think he's one of those strikers, a fox in a box, a bit like Aubameyang. You give him the ball in the box, he will score. But I don't even think he's as clinical as Aubameyang was. And the manager didn't really fancy Aubameyang. So that to me, I read from that, getting rid of Aubameyang is you don't like strikers in the mode of Aubameyang. So why go get an Osimhen that is very similar? That's my opinion on it. Not that I watch him week in, week out. From what I watched of him in the AFCON, he reminds me of a lot of Aubameyang. Just not as good, not as prolific. So, yeah, man, listen, it is what it is, man. I don't understand why he would get a striker like him. I think Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins suits more what Arteta wants. But I think the reason I go more for Toney is Toney's a better goal scorer. I don't need somebody that can do Jesus' job. I'd rather just a striker that is a gunman. And I think in this team, Ivan Toney will bag at least 20 goals. In my opinion, with the service, the way that we play football, Jorginho creating chances, Odegaard creating chances, the wingers as well getting involved in the way that we attack, the way we play football, Ben White crossing the ball in the box. The service he will get in this Arsenal team, I see Ivan Toney touching 20 goals in this team.
Yeah, see, with Ivan Toney, I think his all-round game's very good. I think his hold-up play is very, very good as well, which you need in a striker. Whereas as Ollie Watkins, I don't think his hold-up play is that great, you know. So I look at Toney as the bigger, more prolific version of Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus is definitely more technical, but Ivan Toney perfectly suited to this system. So, and I mean, look at the strikers market. There's nobody screaming out to me, you know, go get him. There's nobody. There's like some. I see some story today about a different striker. What's his name? Gyokeres or something like that.
Gyokeres, yeah. The Sporting Lisbon striker. I'm not convinced, bro. I'm really not convinced. Listen, I may be wrong. I don't watch him week in, week out. I catch him in odd games. You know they're gonna want 100 mil, bro. This is Portugal. They don't sell cheap, bro. They do not sell cheap. This is how they make their money. They are not going to sell cheap. Yeah, and the fact that there's a lack of quality strikers out there, do you know what I mean? They're gonna drive a hard bargain. The guy is not a gunman. When his team was dominating Benfica, he had a lot of chances. He only scored 1 goal. He had 4 clear-cut chances. Not clinical enough. And this comment here, 80 mil for 2 years of peak service. Bro, ask Man United if they give a crap about the money they spent on Van Persie, that he gave them 1 good season but delivered them a Premier League. If it's the difference of you getting over the line and winning a major honor, trust me, you won't care. You won't care. You won the league. And winning the league is eternal. That is in your trophy cabinet forever. So who gives a crap? Who gives a crap?
Exactly.
People want to get a young striker that can give you a long service. That doesn't guarantee you anything. Harry Kane gave Tottenham a long service. Did he win him anything? Like, ultimately, you buy these players to win you trophies. If they can only give you 2 years, what if they're the difference of getting you over the line? Who really cares?
Netweed, name an alternative. Come on, name an alternative. Come on, name an alternative.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, it's just an opinion. Listen, I respect your opinion. I'm just saying, bro, like, I don't really care about, oh, this player can last 4, 5, 6 years, bro. If the player's good enough now, get him now. I honestly do not care, bro. When you're getting big performances, do you think anyone cares, bro? Do you know what I'm saying? No one cares, bro. When you're a baller, no one cares. No one actually genuinely cares, bro. If you're a top player, you're a top player. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how I look in it. But yeah, man, that's another option. That's another story that's out there anyway. The